We all have goals and plans, but what really matters is having a dependable system and process to help those goals come true, to help bring them to reality. A personal development plan can do just that. Whether you've never used one before or you have, I'm going to give you a lot of useful suggestions and hints today. I'm going to give you 8 steps to help create a personal development plan that will really catapult you with momentum to bring your goals to fruition. So I'm really excited to welcome people in today. This is a really big topic. You hear about creating goals all over. There are so many articles and books about goals and creating goals. But again, what really makes a difference is having that system, that process that builds the pathway from where you're starting at, from where you're at, to where you want to be. A goal is really just an idea until you have that system to get you there. It's like getting in a car. If you don't have a destination in mind where you want to get to, and you're just randomly driving around, who knows where you'll end up. And I tell people to stop living the random life, stop living the default life where you just wait and see what happens. You have goals and you think, well, maybe I'll do a little something here, a little something there. What you really need is like a GPS, a personal development plan that lays out the steps so that you know you've engineered your pathway to get where you're going. That's what I'm going to share with you today. I want to welcome everybody who's joining me today. For those of you who may be new, I am Dr. Ellen Ettinger, and as the people in this group will tell you, I love helping busy people create their best life, their strongest life, their most successful life. And we are a full scope home here. So we talk about meeting goals, we talk about time management techniques, we talk about helping your work, helping your home life, your relationships, helping your kids meet their milestones. Again, we are a full scope home. And today we are going to talk about a dependable and reliable plan so that your goals are not just ideas, but that your goals are paired with a system to engineer your pathway to success. So I'm going to talk about those 8 steps now. The first step I call your first thinking goals. I want you to write down, identify, and define your initial thinking goals. And thinking goals are the goals that first come to your mind. They're probably important areas that have been on your mind for a while. What do you want to accomplish for home, for work, for your family relationships, your own personal growth? What are the immediate goals that come to your mind? I want you to write them down. By the way, if this process, if these 8 steps are a little quick and you'd like to get them again, you can always go back and play this recording again if that helps you. But I will try to repeat them as we go along. So again, the first stage is write down your thinking goals. Identify and define those goals that come to your mind that you've probably been thinking about. I also at this time want to differentiate between short-term goals and long-term goals. So essentially, short-term goals are usually goals that you think you can accomplish within a year. Long-term goals may take longer. So if you want to get a new job, a big new job, or a big promotion, or start a new business, that's going to take some time, and that may be a long-term goal. A short-term goal might be to take some courses or get a certification or some experiences that you'd be able to put on your resume so that when somebody who may hire you looks at your resume, you're very competent and qualified. They feel that And you feel that with your added experiences, you're more competent and qualified as well. And again, I want you to think about those steps. Start thinking about those steps that might help. I want you to get used to my phrase of connecting the dots. So you are at a starting point. You want to end up with a goal at an end point. And we want to create those dots along the way in the right order with the right steps that will bring you to your goal. There's a pathway. And I love to help my clients create that pathway of steps to engineer like a GPS to get you to your goal. So we are up to step number 2, and that is a full scope assessment and inspection of goals. So the first one was the thinking goals. What I want to do is make sure that you don't leave anything out that might be important to you, that there isn't anything additional that you didn't think of. So I'm going to mention 8 areas that are often very important to people to think about if you have goals that are important in these areas. And the list of 8 are: number 1, career and work. Number 2 is home. So home may have to do with your physical setup or your location or your organization in your home. 3rd is your family and relationships. So it may have to do with a partner or children or your immediate family that you live with. 4th is your community and friends. 5th is your finances, your financial life and strength. Do you have any goals or needs related to your finances? Next is health and health supporting activities and steps. Any goals that you have that you'd like to take for your health. One of them may be stress management steps, because we all live in a world that has stress in it. And I tell people it is important to have some way of eliminating and holding down that stress so it doesn't take over when it rears its head. Next, and this is a big important category, are hobbies, fun, me time, and personal growth. What are the things that are important to you in your life, that are fun, that help you relax, that help you enjoy? And stress management may be part of this in me time as well. And the last category is spirituality. So that may include religion or faith-based associations or your sense of spirit. Do you feel light, happy, supported, and comfortable in your world? So those are 8 areas that you might want to think of for goals that you might want to have. The 3rd step is what I call a self-awareness and self-assessment. It's an evaluation and an appraisal. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And for your strengths, how do they support you in reaching your goals? For your weaknesses, how might they hinder and impede you from reaching your goals? And what can you do to augment, to increase your abilities? What skills or habits or routines can you add and pick up so that you can overcome your weaknesses? Step number 4 is to prioritize and choose. So I want you to look at all the categories, all the goals you might have thought of. I want you to pick 3 or 4 or 5 from your list. I like to suggest working on 3 to 5 goals at a time. One may have to do with work, one may have to do with home life, one may have to do with your personal growth and skills. Fewer than 3, I think people sometimes feel they want to have more in their life. And more than 5 is dealing with a lot of steps in a lot of areas, and it can be distracting and difficult to focus. So my suggestion is 3 to 5. And step number 5 is for each of those goals, the 3 to 5 goals you selected, I want you to write down your why for each one. Why is each of those goals important to you? Why do you want to reach it? What will happen when you reach it? How will that improve your life? And that is step 5. Step 6 through 8 are the more difficult of the steps, but I'll be helping you out with these. So step number 6 is actually what I call pathway creation. I talked about connecting the dots. And now, with an understanding of your goals, an understanding of your strengths and weaknesses to help you get there, an understanding of your why for each of the goals to keep you motivated and committed, I'd like you to think about creating steps, but you don't have to do this alone. There are many mentors and experts, myself, but there are many experts. I'm going to talk about mentors as my last category. You don't have to do this yourself, but what you do need to do is create a pathway so that you know confidently that you have a process from where you start and where you want to end up, and you can engineer your success. That is what I advise my clients and I help my clients with, and then we celebrate when they reach each of their goals. It's really exciting to hit the milestones along the way and know you're on the way. My clients loved hitting the milestones. I have certain steps that we take, and I am going to actually invite you, if you need help setting out those dots, those steps along the path, I am happy to have an appointment with you. You will see a link in our group. I have a limited number of appointments this week coming up. If you try and schedule soon, you hopefully can get an appointment with me. I will be able to help you, happy to help you discuss this area. And along the steps, you might think, what additional skills can benefit you to help you reach your goal? What can you do to enhance your skills, your knowledge, your experience? What can you do to make your resume better if it's something for work, to make your health better if it's a health goal? For public speaking, an important step that a lot of people need is getting over the nervousness of standing up and speaking in front of people. I often help people with that. That is an area that I deal with people a lot. And it really feels good. It gives you freedom to get over that nervousness and feel like you can stand up there and confidently show your knowledge, your leadership, and your skills. For some people, I help with weight loss. The starting points are often the most difficult. What is the best plan to do for weight loss for a particular person? And how do you get through the root causes that are causing you to hold weight? So there are many steps that are really important, that are really crucial. And it's really helpful to set out those dots to engineer your pathway for each of the 3 to 5 goals. Step number 7 is to think about what obstacles are in your way. So again, in public speaking, that nervousness is an obstacle if you don't know how to deal with it. It's important to understand your obstacles. For weight loss, if you have sugar cravings or stress eating, that's an obstacle to get through, to understand how you're going to deal with that. And again, a mentor, an expert like myself, like many people around, can help if you can't find the solution for yourself. And I help many of my clients get unstuck and towards meeting these goals in their lives. And number 8 is what I call no person is an island. So you are not alone, you are not isolated. You don't have to create or find all the steps, all the answers yourself. The people who really achieve the highest goals usually have mentors or experts who have helped them along the way. And certainly the fastest way of achieving something big is to get advice and guidance from someone who's done it, someone who leads it. That can help give you a fast, easy path without figuring out each step along the way yourself. And I talk about mentors, experts, coaches, consultants, and support resources. And if you take the first letter of each of them, M for mentor, E for expert, C for coach, C for consultant, and a support resource, S, that gives you the word meccas. I talk about how important it is to have meccas to help you reach goals. Again, you're not isolated in the world. No person is an island. There is a lot of expertise you can call on. And I want to talk about two types of mentors in particular. One is very often bosses are great mentors for work goals because they know what you're trying to accomplish. The one warning I have about that is make sure that you do have a good, comfortable relationship with your boss if you're going to call on them as a mentor and not what I call an objective outside mentor. Because your boss is somebody who's going to evaluate you for your work. So if they're helpful and they give you advice, that's great. But they're also going to be evaluating your work. And if you feel that bringing up these goals will be a problem for your work evaluation, if you feel they'll be stuck on their particular advice to you, and whether you follow their pathway or chose something else, you might need to be careful, and it may help you to have an objective mentor. I will be talking a little bit more about that as well. I also wanted to mention that some people choose a friend as an expert, or your mother or your mother-in-law, and those can sometimes be uncomfortable situations. You may feel that they're criticizing you. They may feel uncomfortable giving you feedback, or it may create an uncomfortable situation, having them at a different level from you in this relationship as a mentor. So be careful in those situations. The advantage of having an objective mentor is that you don't have someone who's in that power play type of relationship. You have someone who's specifically there to help you with your goals. They don't have personal strings attached or relationships in the same way that somebody in your life does. So often it's really helpful, more helpful, to get an outside mentor, somebody who's not within your community, so you don't have those extra strings attached. I want to talk a little bit more about mentors as well. Mentors can sometimes be there rarely or occasionally, or sometimes they're around more frequently. So I recommend for each of your 3 to 5 goals that you pick, if you have mentors that can help you, that's great. If you feel that you have steps yourself, that's great. But for each goal, I suggest you have what's called an objective mentor who can be available to you on a regular basis. I suggest once a week, so that you can check in with them and let them know how you're doing on your goal. You can let them know if you've run into any obstacles, if you feel stuck, if you've had any problems, if you have any questions along the way. And the reason I suggest you do this weekly is to make sure you stay on the path and keep moving forward. When we don't do that, we very often put our work as a priority, our family is our priority, our home is our priority. And when it comes to our own personal growth, we demote it. We say, I'll get to that next week. I'll get to that when I have a chance. And when you have an objective mentor working with you, it really helps to keep you on track, feeling responsible, feeling that it's worthwhile to do what you said you're doing. and to think even of small steps you can take during a busy week to move forward. And your objective mentor will also make recommendations to you on managing your time so that you can make sure that you are committed and can take steps in your direction to meet your goals. So again, a personal development plan is really exciting because it's the process of thinking of goals, of laying out the steps, and building the process where you're going to meet your goals, building your support system, and knowing that you can be confident, like you're getting in a car at a starting point. You have a GPS that's going to help you reach the destination, the goal that you have in mind. I am really excited about this. My clients use personal development plans, and they're really excited. They love how it maps out the plans for them. My clients are really excited about it. I'm excited to have shared that with you today. If I can be of help to you to go over the goals that are in your mind, the goals that you look at in the 8 areas, to think about your strengths and weaknesses and how you can build skills to help you create a strong, empowered pathway to meet your goals, I'm happy to do that. As I mentioned, I do have some limited appointments available. There will be a calendar available in our group. I will put my calendar in the recording so you can look back and find it as well. I will remind you that we are a full scope home for busy women. We talk about reaching goals. We talk about time management solutions. We talk about elevating work-life balance. We talk about helping your kids reach their milestones and help them build success in their lives. We talk about improving relationships with your spouse and your community. We talk about building me time and how you can protect yourself and your time and your focus. So I'm always excited to help empower the women in our group. Again, if I can be of any help, feel free to try to find an appointment. If it's still available, I hope you can find one. There are limited appointments, so first come, first serve. I really commend you and congratulate you on being here to learn this system. I hope that you will not let it end here. You will go further, create your personal development plan. Let us know your successes. Let me know if you need help along the way. And as always, check into our group during the week for all the different recommendations that you'll see in all the different areas that I work in with you. And I will be back here again next Sunday with another topic to help you build and create your best life for you, your work, and your family. Let's talk again soon.